What if I told you that a lot of what you call thinking is actually your brain taking shortcuts, predicting outcomes, and editing reality in real time? That is not a metaphor. It is how your mind works. And once you understand a few core psychology angles, you start seeing your own habits, decisions, and emotions in a completely different way. So in this video, I want to walk you through 5 psychology angles that reveal how your mind really works. And more importantly, how you can use them in everyday life. First, your brain does not just react to the world, it predicts it. A huge part of perception is your brain filling in gaps based on past experience. That is why you can walk into a familiar room and instantly know where everything is even before you consciously look. This is useful because it explains why habits are so powerful. If your brain expects coffee, your phone, or a certain routine first thing in the morning, it moves in that direction automatically. Concrete example, if you want to build a new habit, do not just rely on motivation. Change the cues. Put the book on your pillow if you want to read before bed. Put the gym clothes beside your shoes if you want to work out in the morning. You are teaching the brain a new prediction. Second, your attention is not a spotlight on reality. It is a filter. Your brain ignores most of what is happening around you and only lets in what it thinks matters. That is why when you are hungry, you notice food everywhere. When you are anxious, you notice danger everywhere. Mechanically, this is your brain protecting limited processing power. You cannot consciously process everything, so your mind prioritizes what seems relevant. That is useful because it means your mental state changes what you notice. If you are trying to solve a problem, stepping away, sleeping on it, or changing your environment can actually help because your brain starts filtering differently. Third, events do not always create emotions directly. Your interpretation of the event does. 2 people can get the same short text message. One thinks they are mad at me, the other thinks they are busy. Same message, completely different emotional outcome. This is one reason cognitive reframing works. It does not deny reality, it changes the meaning you assign to it. Useful application. Next time something stresses you out, ask, what else could this mean? That one question can reduce emotional intensity fast, because it interrupts the first automatic story your brain tells. Fourth, the brain is a pattern-seeking machine. Sometimes that helps you learn. Sometimes it creates false confidence. If something happens twice, your mind starts treating it like a rule. That is why superstitions, assumptions, and bad first impressions can stick so strongly. This matters in real life because you may be making decisions based on a pattern that is not actually reliable. For example, if one failed presentation makes you think I am bad at public speaking, your brain may overgeneralize a single event into an identity. A better approach is to look for repeated evidence, not just memorable moments. That leads to better self-awareness and better decisions. Fifth, familiarity creates comfort, even when it is not ideal. This is why people stay in routines that no longer serve them. It is why change can feel threatening, even when it is clearly good for you. Your brain tends to prefer what it already knows because uncertainty costs energy. Familiarity reduces that cost. This is useful if you are trying to change your life because it explains resistance. You are not just battling laziness, you are battling the brain's preference for the known. So if you want to make change easier, make it familiar in small doses. Do one tiny version of the new behavior every day. The goal is not to shock your brain, it is to convince it that the new thing is safe. So those are 5 psychology angles that show your mind is less like a camera and more like a prediction system, a filter, and a meaning maker. And once you understand that, you can work with your mind instead of constantly fighting it. 5 psychology angles that reveal how your mind really works is just one small part of cognitive psychology. If you are interested, our full free cognitive psychology course is linked in the description.